In front of me are three of the most popular and extremely value for money Yamaha PSR E-series portable keyboards, and in today's video I'm going to tell you the difference between the cheapest and the mid-range and the more expensive PSR E-series keyboard so you can make a better buying decision for yourself and do not spend more than what you need to, and also do not buy something that is too basic for your requirements. So on this side, I have the PSR-E273 and it costs $139 currently at the time of making this video. And on this side, we have the mid-range PSR-E373, which is about $60 more at $199. Here we have the flagship PSR-E473, which is $170 more than this PSR-E373, and it goes for $369 currently. So should you spend this much money for an E-series keyboard? Let's find out. Do check out the best prices and bundles I have found for you in the video description. These three keyboards come with 61 synth action keys and they are not weighted. However, the PSR-E273 is not touch sensitive versus these two other keyboards, the 473 and the 373, which has 4 levels of touch sensitivity each. So you can hear for the E273 without touch sensitivity, no matter how hard or how soft I hit the keys, it will be the same volume and the same intensity. Whereas these two keyboards will be louder or softer depending on how hard or how soft I touch the keys. Next, let's talk about polyphony. The PSR-E273, being the entry-level keyboard, has only 32 notes of polyphony, and the E373 has 48 notes of polyphony, and the E473 has been upgraded with 64 notes of polyphony. So what is note polyphony? Note polyphony is the number of notes that can sound at the same time. You might ask, we just have only 10 fingers, why do we need 64 notes of polyphony? That is because as you sustain the sounds, as you have rhythms playing along, you might layer multiple sounds. All these eats up polyphony. While all these three keyboards have an LCD screen which makes it really convenient to see the sounds and features you are using, the LCD screen on the PSR-E273 is not backlit. Whereas on these two other keyboards, the 473 and the 373, the LCD screen is backlit, and the LCD screen on the E473 is slightly larger and shows more information than the one on the E373. Because of the price difference of the keyboards, they come with different number of sounds. On the E273, you get 401 tones. On the E373 here, you get 622 tones. And on the E473, you get 820 tones. But what is different is this E273 only has the standard AWM samples, whereas these two keyboards come with Yamaha's renowned sweet voices, live voices, cool voices, and it comes with the new technology super articulation voices. In particular, the E373 comes with 11 super articulation voices and the E473 comes with 14 super articulation voices. Let's have a listen to the standard default piano voice on each of this keyboard and you can have a listen for yourself. It just sounds pretty flat, okay for a beginner, but if you can, try to spend a little bit more for the E373, which has touch-sensitive keys. And has better samples as well. Let's have a listen to the flagship E473. The voices on the E273 cannot be layered, neither can multiple voices be split across the keyboard. So you have one sound on the left side of the keyboard and another sound on the right side of the keyboard. On these two keyboards, you can layer up to two voices, and you can also split voices across the keyboard. Next, let's talk about the standard effects, which are the reverb, choruses, and master EQ. On the cheapest E273, you have 20 different varying levels of reverb, choruses, and master EQ. Whereas on the E373, you get a couple more, you get 23 levels of reverb, choruses, and EQ. But the E473 has fewer reverb, choruses, and master EQ compared to the E373, but it makes up for it with a lot more DSP. So the PSR-E473 has 21 reverb, chorus, and master EQ settings. The E273 has no DSPs that you can apply to it, and new in the PSR-E373, the previous models didn't have DSP. Now it has 38 DSP effects, digital signal processors, which makes it a lot more powerful. And the E473 has the most number of DSP effects, coming in at 59. Let's have a listen to the difference that the DSP effects make to an electric piano voice, for example. So we'll start off with the E273, which has no DSP effects. And on the E373, and the E473. You can hear the sound is so much warmer with the more advanced DSP effects. Yamaha PSR E-series keyboards come with arranger functionality, which means that they come with rhythm as well as backing accompaniment. Let's have a listen to some of the backing styles on these keyboards. Without DSP, the E273 styles don't sound as good, but let's just have a listen to some of them. Now for the E373, the exact same style, but with some DSP effects applied and having more polyphony, it can sound more instrument as well. You can hear the sound is a lot brighter. Crisper, just sound warmer as well. And now a similar style on the E473. The E473 comes with a lot more updated styles previously not available in any of these models, and its predecessor as well. All three keyboards come with two variations for every style, and you have an intro and an ending for each style as well. However, on the E473, you can turn on and off the different instruments and the style tracks of each style, giving you a lot more possibilities which are not possible on the E273 and the E373. And if the built-in styles are not enough on the E273, you're just stuck with whatever is there. There's no way you can expand your instrument with more styles. On both this keyboard, you can download more styles from the internet and load it up onto this keyboard, and each of them have 10 style expansion memory on each of this keyboard. The E473, being a flagship, has a sampling capability. You can sample sounds from a microphone, from sounds on a USB stick, from your computer, and you can play them on these quick sampling pads over here. You can record up to 4 samples on this keyboard, whereas on E273 and the E373, there is no sampling feature. There's no way to add more sounds. You're just stuck with whatever sounds you have in this keyboard. Everybody dance now. Everybody dance now. The E473 also comes with a Groove Creator feature, which these other two keyboards doesn't have. The Groove Creator allows you to be like a DJ, where you can mix and match different tracks to sound like you are in a dance club. Let me just show you what I mean. For those who like electronic dance music, the E273 has no arpeggiator functions, whereas the E373 has 150 arpeggio patterns and the E473 has 152 arpeggiator patterns. What about manipulating sounds in real time? The E273 has no live control knobs or pitch bend wheel. Same thing for the E373. The E473 comes with a pitch bend wheel over here. And new on the E473 is the motion effects. With 57 motion effects, you can manipulate your sounds in real time. In addition, you get these two live control knobs to manipulate your styles, your sounds, your rhythm in real time. And these are not available on the E273 and the E373. The E273 comes with a basic lesson system for those who are starting out for the first time, and the E373 has a slightly more advanced lesson system with a touch tutor feature that teaches you how to control the way you touch the keys. It has a chord study and a chord progression, which I covered in the full review of the E373 keyboard. The E473 does not have any lesson feature whatsoever. So you're on your own, you're expected to learn from third-party music apps or from an online course, which I will link in the description below. What about saving your own user settings after you set up all the various sounds and styles and effects? You want some way to store the sounds. Unfortunately, the E273 has no way of storing any of those settings. Every time you turn off the instrument, you have to reset everything all over again. And on the E373, you get 9 user memory slots. You can store up to 9 of your own settings. On the E473, you can store up to 32 of your own user settings. What about doing multi-track MIDI recording of your own songs? The E273 comes with a single track, single song capacity recorder, and the E373 does a bit better with 5 songs capacity, and each songs you can record up to 2 tracks. On the E473, you can record up to 10 songs internally, and each song can have as many as 6 tracks. However, the real gem is Yamaha's Record and Share app that allows you to record an unlimited number of audio recordings, as well as record video with digital audio, very clean digital audio, professionally recorded video and audio. You can do that on the E473 and on the E373. Unfortunately, the E273 does not support Yamaha's Record and Share app. The E473 allows you to record digital audio direct into a USB stick, whereas the E273 and 373 has no such capability. What if you want to connect to your computer, to a digital audio workstation, or to a third-party music learning app? The E273 has no MIDI capability. So if you want to connect to external devices or use external programs, this E273 may not be for you. However, on the E373 and the E473, the USB port supports USB MIDI, and it also has a USB audio interface built in, and you do not need to buy an external audio interface to send audio data to your music apps or your digital audio workstation. What about the amplification on this onboard speakers here? The E273 and the E373 has pretty much the same amplification. You get a pair of 2.5 watts amplifiers, giving you a total of 5 watts sound output on each of the 273 and the 373. The E473 has a significantly punchier, louder volume and output, as it comes with a pair of 6 watt amplifiers, giving you a total of 12 watts output. While all three keyboards allow you to use a pair of headphones for quiet practice, only the E473 allow you to plug in a microphone to sing along with, or to input samples or your voice into the sampling pad. This is the talk function of the microphone without any reverb or chorus. And this is with the chorus and reverb if you want to sing along. You might also want to note that a sustain pedal is compatible with all three keyboards, and you can play it like a sustain pedal on a traditional piano. For power options, all three keyboards can be powered with a power adapter. Depending on where you're from, it might be included in your package, or you may have to buy it separately. These keyboards can also run on 6 AA batteries, all three of them. Obviously, you can run the E273 for much longer time with the AA batteries, whereas E473, you're going to have a shorter time due to the onboard speakers as well as the more advanced features. Finally, in terms of portability, the E273 is extremely lightweight, being just 8 pounds, and the E373 is still quite manageable. It is 2 pounds heavier at 10 pounds, but the one that is the heftiest and the heaviest is the E473, which comes in at 15 pounds. I hope you found this quick comparison guide useful for your buying decision. You can find a list of my recommended digital pianos, keyboards, and music learning apps in the description. My name is Jeremy C, and I'll see you in my next video.